Shaq over here dropping some knowledge bombs. I got a banger from JB Reacts. Let's get straight into it.
Do you think you could be all the way honest with your woman?
No, because you're not supposed to be all the way honest.
I rebuke that.
Let me explain.
Because women are emotional, man. They think too much on the emotion. And I always say this, you're too honest with a woman, she'll take that and she'll weaponize an insecurity or a shortcoming that you have. So you can't always be completely honest. Now, I'm not saying lie. What I am saying is just say nothing.
You ready?
Yes.
Let's just say we have a semi-open relationship, right?
Okay.
And you call me. You want me to say, I'm with this freak, I'm going to try to hit it, I'll call you back? That's honest. Or, baby, can I call you back? I'm with a friend.
Don't say I'm with a friend.
Yeah, it's a friend.
That's a lie.
She's a friend. If she's in my presence, she's some sort of friend. She's not my girlfriend. She's some sort of friend.
Facts. That's not lying. That's how it need to be. You don't need to give too many details. They don't.
Well, if you're in an open relationship, that is. I don't believe in open relationships. But if you are in one, then yeah.
On honesty, if you can handle it, yeah. But if you can't handle it, sometimes you have to protect them. You have to protect the feelings.
Dang.
That's all I'm saying.
That's wild.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
real.
with a friend. That's not a lie. I'm not giving you details, but I'm with, like, you really want me to say, hey, I'm in Vegas, I'm with this little freak.
I want the truth.
No, you don't.
Me.
You want
No,
me
you
to say I'm in Vegas?
In relationship.
Women say they want the truth, but they really don't want the truth.
Freak, she charged me $1,000. I'm gonna try to get it to $700. I'm gonna knock it down. I'm gonna knock it down. You know me. It's gonna take about 5 minutes. I'm gonna call you back in 10 minutes. That's what you want to hear, or you want to say, baby, I'll call you back in 20 minutes. I'm in a meeting.
No, you want? Oh, not in a meeting.
Yeah, well, she about to.
I'm in a cheek meeting. A lot of clapping will be done. That round of applause.
You know what I want to hear? I want you to tell me before we commit to our relationship that you are still outside and you're not ready to be sexually monogamous with me.
You can't commit to a relationship if you're not monogamous to someone. I'm sorry. This whole polyamory, open relationships, it's just another excuse to buck a bunch of people. This stuff never works, bro. I've known multiple people that have tried this whole poly thing and they all get left in the dirt. It never works. Just say you want to buck other people and don't take somebody serious. It's just leading people on saying, you're the main squeeze, baby. I want you, but I want to buck other girls. Like, bro, come on.
Okay.
But in every other way, you are. And so if you just say, I'm busy, I don't want you to make up a story because I don't like that.
But how you know I'm lying?
If you were my guy, I would know when you're lying.
No, that intuition.
You're a liar!
Your
What?
intuitions can be off.
No, I would know.
Women really do be thinking they all knowing. No, you wouldn't.
Intuitions
Let me
can be
tell
off.
you something about a woman, okay? A woman knows. We know one intuitively.
You think you know.
No, we know.
No,
we know
you
when
assume.
your breathing changes.
You
I'm
assume.
telling you, there are so many
You stupid.
Your breathing changes. I can see the sweat on your brow.
You stupid.
Stop it, bro.
little triggers
You assume.
and we don't.
Watch this. My guy, I'm about to get it. You
These women think they're like CIA profilers. You don't know what you're talking about.
assume off past traumas. If something happened in your last relationship, you bring it into the new relationship. If I'm taking you out every night and then all of a sudden I'm not taking you out and I'm moody, that don't mean I'm cheating on you.
Exactly.
No, but there is a pattern shift.
Nope.
Yes, but you have to figure out why the pattern shift.
I agree.
Not assume. You have to figure it out.
Well,
you
I
have to
agree.
get factual evidence. Don't go, but hold on.
I mean, he's got a point. Women like to jump to conclusions like a freaking gymnast. They like to jump so quick. They, instead of asking to clarify, they just assume, which, you know what happens when you assume.
When y'all think he's shifting, then y'all shift, and everything shifts off.
No, I ask questions.
Rather than shifting each other back.
Yep.
If I shift and you go, huh? Oh, my last boyfriend used to do that and then you shift and then you got the attitude problem. You start talking about, oh, my last girl used to talk about. Now it's all off. That's why we need to get it, figure it out, be factual about it, and then bring it back.
True. Like Kevin Samuels always says, you know, you can't make the men of your present pay for the mistakes and trauma of the men of your past. There will be no future. So what a lot of these women do is they take all that trauma they've had with Jason in the past, and he did me so dirty. They carry it on to their next relationship, and they think the next man's doing it, when sometimes the next man's not doing it. Maybe he is. Or sometimes, maybe, ladies, you just pick bad men. Shots fired! Men that don't want to commit, they don't want to be monogamous, and they're not all about you. Because once again, ladies, if he's good enough for you, he's good enough for a few.
Baby, you took me out to dinner all last week. How come we didn't go to dinner today? Baby, I'm tired. I've been working out. I'm trying like that. Don't like. Oh,
That's fair.
Yeah, but y'all assume based off past.
Don't put
past
me in y'all.
emotions.
Who is y'all?
Oh
It
no,
ain't-
You are a woman as well, and you've probably had more than one relationship. Probably not a virgin. Probably been bucked a couple times. Just saying, I'm not calling you a runner or anything. I don't know nothing about this woman. But I almost bet you she ain't a virgin.
GIE, the Wogies.
It ain't me. It is definitely not me.
Yeah, but when y'all say we know, no, you think you know. You assume. And a lot of times the assumptions may be right, but a lot of times they could be wrong.
I mean,
true.
for me, I feel like intuitively I will know that there's something going on, and then I will ask the question. So
You're a liar.
how do you feel if someone even do you feel disrespected if someone
Yes, I
asks
do.
you the question?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Why?
Because if you're going to assume something, make sure you assume correct.
But if I'm asking the question, then I'm not assuming. I'm asking
are.
for clarity.
But why are you asking the question?
For clarity.
No, because you had an assumption to make you ask a question. You just don't ask questions to be asking questions.
I would.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
He's got a point. You're assuming something's happening, which is why you're asking clarifying questions. He's 100% right on that.
And in that brain.
Shaq, if Big Booty Judy came up on the phone and I were to say, "Oh, baby, who's Big Booty Judy?"
Okay, but you assume that Big Booty Judy is something else because it says Big Booty. So
No, I just want to. Who is this? I don't know Big Booty Judy.
But that's my point. Something.
You wouldn't be asking unless you were already assuming.
You stupid.
In fact, she can't concede that fact. Come on, honey.
Triggers you to have an assumption and then you ask a question. That's all I'm saying.
But check this out real quick.
Well, and it's so funny to me she won't listen to Shaq. Shaq's been around the block. This man is a famous NBA player, millions and millions, if not a billionaire. Like, he has had tons of experiences with women. And what's so funny to me is there's so many women out there that feel like they know, and the key word here is feel. They feel like they know what the experience is like with women, and they like to educate men on what's going on and how, and you know what I mean? I've experienced way more women than you have, lady. Trust me, I would know better than you would know. Because women are clouded in their own judgment. That's why I say women are children. They grow old, they never grow up. Almost every statement this woman has made this entire podcast is, I feel. Well, I feel like. Well, I feel. It's not a I think. It's not a, oh, well, I assumed, therefore I asked a clarifying question. Just being 100% transparent. Men are just like that. We're black and white. It's either this or that. And it's just funny to me that a woman that has never really experienced women in the dating market thinks she knows women better just because she's a woman. But I guess it could go the other way, right? I don't know what it's like to date men. I don't date men. I know what I did, though. But at the same time, men are simple. We're simple creatures. I know what men like. Men respond to respect. Men respond to women that like them. Chat, put a 1 in the chat if you agree. Men want respect. Men typically like women that like them. If a woman likes you and she's okay looking, cool. I've seen dudes marry threes just because these women shot their shot at them. Men are simple creatures. Men want 3 things. Empty nuts, full stomach, and peace and quiet. Shubba Anaya should have bought a Honda, put it on a t-shirt. That's all men want. Men are simple creatures. Women, on the other hand, are not. And women feel like they know how men have experienced women when it's just them. It's like, trust me, honey, I've had a lot more experience with women than you have, so you should listen to Shaq when it comes to this stuff. Ain't that right, Loki? I've fallen at work and been injured. Oh, wait. I should call my lawyer.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan.
Hey, John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. It's Levi Nichs of YouTube. Can I get some cash, please?
Morgan & 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 Morgan.
Did you know that your injury could be worth millions of dollars? Morgan & Morgan is the largest injury law firm in America, and they've recovered over $20 billion for their clients. $20 billion? That's a lot of cash. The insurance companies tried to lowball me, but Morgan & Morgan was able to take my pain and suffering and turn it into cold, hard cash. It's almost a good thing I was injured. But wait. How much is Morgan & Morgan gonna cost me? You never owe them legal fees unless they're successful. So it's completely free unless you win? Yeah. Hiring a lawyer? That sounds like really difficult. It's actually super easy. You can just go to their website, and in a couple clicks, you can find out if you have a case. And you can literally do it from your smartphone. And remember, there is only one Morgan & Morgan. Wait, but it's 2 names though. How is it? Give me the script. Oh, both their last names. Okay, I get it. Okay, roll it. You can start your claim today by going to forthepeople.com/Levi, found in the description below. So if you're injured, you can trust Morgan & Morgan. Y'all know what time it is. Can we get some freeze in the chat, poor flavor? Look at that little paw just stuck out stiff. That one paw's got rigor mortis. Loki, free. Go to your place, dude. I don't know if you saw, but you see how he started eating it faster when I got over there? He's so greedy. He thought I was going to take it. Bro, I'm not going to take it. I don't want that ostrich trachea neck. It smells like a fart anyways, dude.
If you assume something, you're going to ask a question to get clarification.
Yes.
But make sure you assume correctly.
Okay, so what if it was the opposite? What if instead of saying, who is Big Booty Judy, would the question be better if it was like, oh, how do you know this person?
No, not better.
Is that a better way to ask it? Or do you just not want questions in general?
Don't ask.
I don't want to ask questions. I just like to, set up scenarios. Perfect scenario for me,
Yeah.
if you look at it and be like, her ass ain't as fat as mine.
Ooh.
That's a turn on like a motherfucker. Look, you see my boy? Yeah. Like, I ain't worried about no Big Booty Judy. Because just think about it. We just started dating. He probably had this phone for 30 years. We just started dating. He probably didn't get to tell everybody about me yet.
Yeah.
But instead of nagging him, you hit him with some shit to make sure he don't answer.
I mean, he's got a point. Men hate nagging. The best thing a woman can do is be like, I ain't worried about her. That's so confident. I agree with that.
Her ass ain't as fat as mine. That's the perfect scenario for me.
That is.
That'll make
Outbeat the other chick.
every number in my phone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Loki, all the way on your place. Thank you, sir.
Like you see it and you laugh. Like,
I said all the way on your place. Your paws are still hitting the ground. Stop leaning so far forward. Here, back here. Lay down. Lay down. Your paws don't need to be on the ground. You're so bad, dude. He's living up to his name today for sure.
like that ass is fat, but I know that. And then you grab it and then you know where them fans at. Yeah, like we do that while we're in the car. Oh man, I'm gonna pull that up. Like that's a perfect scenario for me.
All right, so let's skip forward. I actually agree with that take. Men don't want to be questioned. They don't want nagging. I completely agree with Shaq on that.
Always cheating. And then the guy who was forced.
But let's see what else he has to say. I think this podcast so far is pretty solid. I've seen a couple of her clips online, but I haven't really watched a lot of her actual podcasts. So
Women run the world. Y'all just don't know it.
So how do we take power in that?
But stop talking shit and just do it. Huh.
But like,
true.
what does that look like? Just
I
to
have
what?
no idea.
Oh,
Bro, he hit
it's
that on
hard
the
out
head.
here being a woman. I got to tell you,
No, it's not.
it is. You think it's harder to be a man than a woman?
Bro, it is so easy to be a woman. You guys are such a protected class. You get in the club for free. Somebody mugging you on the street, other men come to help you. Men open doors for you. It is so easy for y'all. Like this woman, I think this podcast, she has like 23,000 subscribers and she was able to get Shaq on there. You think Shaq's knocking at my door? Hey, I want Levi Nichs to interview me. No.
How about no?
Men have to work so much harder. Look at the cases of like Fresh and Fit, the Whatever podcast. The guys that they have on those channels are either one of two things. They have tons of clout, enormous amounts of clout, or they are an expert in their respective field. Whether it's a money guy or on the Whatever podcast, you're a debate king. You got Andrew Wilson, some of the other guys they have on there, they're all like really good at debating. They're debate guys. I've hit up Brian multiple times to be on the Whatever podcast. Do you think he's chomping at the bits to get me on? He's like, Levi's just a stupid reaction channel guy.
You stupid.
Why would I have him on? I don't look like an expert in my field. The best thing I do is react. Maybe I'm an expert in relationships or certain aspects to relationships. That's what I know the most about. I still don't even consider myself an expert, though. I just have expertise. I've just been in the game for a while. But for a man, it takes a very high level of acumen to be able to get on one of these channels or get onto one of these broadcasts, whereas a woman, this woman is typically, she's kind of unknown, and she was able to get Shaq on as a guest. Do you think I'm getting big name people like that? The biggest person I've had on, the two biggest guys I've had on, Jake Rattlesnake from Rattlesnake TV, shout out to him, and then I've also had Andrew Wilson on. But when I had Andrew Wilson on, I had like 100,000 subscribers. And when I had Jake on, I had 100,000 subscribers. So like, I wasn't just a nobody. I had some bit of a name, and I was posting a lot. And Jake, I was talking to Jake Rattlesnake at the time, and he was like, bro, if you wouldn't have had a bunch of videos, I probably wouldn't have taken this. If you had like no videos, and Andrew said the same thing. If you weren't posting regularly and you just wanted me on randomly, he's like, I probably wouldn't have said yes. But he's like, I could see you were grinding. I could see you were posting regularly, and I liked your content, thought you were funny. Therefore, I jumped on, and I was like, that's awesome. Thanks. But I had to build like a pretty large following before I could even get those guys' attention.
Woman?
Yeah.
Hell
Why?
yeah.
Because we don't know the rules.
And all of us don't know how to play the game.
Know the rules.
Okay, here's a better question. Do you think women need men?
100,000,000% yes.
Yes.
I think we all need each other.
I mean, I agree.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
But women
But do you
definitely
think
need men.
specifically women, now that women are making the money, they are,
I love
getting ahead, they are educated, they
I
are
think it takes a specific man. Like you stated this, you will not date under.
I wouldn't.
No.
Yeah.
And that's your preference. It's fine. Some people have a problem with that. I don't. So, if you have all that, you're not going to be able to handle a man that's under.
Mm-hmm.
Because the one thing y'all don't understand, ego. Like the ones that have guys that aren't doing nothing and they still let them be a man, they survive. And once you start down talking to that man because you got more than them, it's not going to work.
I couldn't.
It's not going to work at all.
I couldn't do it.
You could.
Well, she doesn't even realize how shallow that makes her look. Because men would date a woman on fries at McDonald's, but women would never date a guy on fries at McDonald's. She self-admittedly said, I would never date a guy that makes less than me. You're shallow. Simple as that. Shots fired! Men are the true romantics. Women are selfish and egotistical and childish. They wouldn't date a man under them. Are you kidding me? There's a lot of really great men that make anywhere between 40 to 60K a year. Tons of great men. Plethora of men. I'd even bear to say there's more good men out there than there are good women. Now, I think there are good women. I think there's good men. But I think a lot of men are just more rooted in reality. And we're kind of wired to think like a man and be chivalrous and want to help provide and protect and be selfless and be helpful. Like, I feel like men get a lot out of being utilized in a helpful way. Being useless makes a man feel worthless. Being useful makes a man feel worthy. You know what I mean? So it's just so funny to me. I would never date a man under me. Like, are you kidding me? Who are you to say that?
I wouldn't, though.
You
I wouldn't
probably
choose
could.
it.
Stop
because
it.
I feel like I want
Shaq dropping sauce right now. She's
Because I feel like.
respect. I want to you know what it is for me? I desire to be with a man that desires to want to provide. And so
So you need a rich fella.
I'm not going to say rich, but well-to-do.
well-to-do.
Rich and wealthy are synonymous.
You stupid.
I hate when women try to sugarcoat words like this. Just say what it is.
In most people's eyes, my number is probably a rich number, for sure.
All right, so what if you're rich? How come
Why
you
can't we
take
both
care
be
of him?
rich?
Why you can't take care of him?
Why can't we take care of each other?
If he's taking care of you, everything you need, you don't mind taking care of him?
I don't have to.
I love it.
I personally
Just so shallow, bro. So shallow. Wait, there was something I thought about.
Taking care of him?
I don't have to. I personally
How come
why
you
can't we
take
both
care
be
of him?
rich?
Why you can't take care of him?
Why can't we take care of each other?
If he's taking
This is what I was going to say. When women achieve success, career advancement, money, accolades, milestones, they become a prisoner of their own success, whereas men become free agents of their own accomplishments. Women will go out there and achieve all these things. I make $40K a month. I make $100,000 a month, which, by the way, an insane amount of money. If you're making anything more than $20K, $30K a month, that's an insane amount of money, in my opinion. But women will go out and earn all this money and become a prisoner of that success because then they set the bar. They say, I'm not going to date a guy that makes under $30K a month. Good luck finding that guy. You're talking about like what, the top 10, 15% of men? And then let's knock out half of them because half of them don't like women. So you got about maybe 7%. 7% of those guys, right? You got 7%. Maybe only 4% of them are over 6 feet. And I'm being healthy with these numbers. So now you got 4%. And then maybe only 2% of those guys do you find attractive. So you're trying to compete against all the other women for 2% of guys. That's the delusion factor. And the fact that these women don't even realize when she's saying this stuff. It's like, oh, I wouldn't date a guy under me. I don't want to have to pay for everything. But men are expected to do these things. We're expected to pay. We're expected to provide, protect, be chivalrous, be loving. That's why I say women, the only things that are loved unconditionally, Chris Rock says this, the only things that are loved unconditionally are freaking dogs and women. Men are only loved on the condition that they provide something. Chat, put a 1 in the chat if you agree. Which it's absolutely brutal to me because a lot of men go overlooked, which is part of the point of this channel. And I think the reason we've had so much growth is because there's a lot of men that agree. The fact that a lot of men get overshadowed just because they don't make an ungodly amount of money is disgusting to me. Because there's so many good men out there that make anywhere between $40,000 to $70,000 a year that just get overlooked because they don't make enough, and then secondly, maybe they're not tall enough. Like there's so many good men that are the bedrock of a good society, but they're overlooked just because of those two things right there. It's just pure proof of how shallow women are. Men are not that shallow. We're not super particular on how much you make. We're not super particular on your height. The real big things that men care about are what's in the mirror and what's on that scale. As long as you're fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, and no kids, and you have these 3 things. You know, your looks is what gets our attention, personality is what keeps our attention, and your character is what makes us fall in love with you. All 3 of those things kind of don't cost money. You can look good on a budget. You don't have to have a lot of money to look good. Now, I mean, you could try to put lipstick on a pig. It's still going to look like a pig, but you could go outside and get your 10,000 steps a day, do body weight exercises, and be in good shape and control what you put in your mouth. I don't think a lot of women realize this, that men typically don't go for big back women.
Big back, big back.
Personally, for me, when I look at a woman that is a big back, I say, she has no discipline. If she can't even discipline what she's putting on a spoon or a fork and putting in her gullet, how can I expect her to raise my child? How can I expect her to have duty to a wife, or duty as a wife to me as a husband? If you can't control what you're putting in your body, how can I trust you with really anything else? So that's the next thing that we're seeing right now is a lot of women are getting disqualified by men because the men are looking at them and like, I don't think she qualifies. Because instinctually, I think a lot of men begin with the end in mind. Chat, put a 1 in the chat if you agree. Men begin with the end in mind and we think, would this woman be a good mother to my child? And then would she be a good wife to me? At least that's what I was thinking when I got a little bit older in my later 20s. Now, was I necessarily looking for a wife? No, but I had that foresight to go, would she be a good mom in the future? Okay, she ticks that box. Would she be a good wife? Okay, she ticks that box. Cool, I'll date her. But if you really didn't tick those boxes, I didn't really want to date you. I didn't really have like a serious relationship until I met Cass, and that was when I was 27. In college, I was running amok.
She's a runner, she's a track star.
I was running amok. I was in open relationships. Baby, I like you, and I just want to make sure I like you, so I'm going to go buck other girls too. I was a savage, I really was. But I just didn't find a girl that I really wanted to hunker down with, and I could see her being the mother to my child or the wife to me. I just couldn't see it yet. But I think Shaq was dropping some knowledge bombs. This was a good one. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It was good to have you guys out, man. Peace.